Fang Yuan, hand over the Spring Autumn Cicada obediently, and I'll grant you a swift death.
Old demon Fang, don't even dream of resisting. Today, the great sects of our righteous path have joined forces to crush your demonic lair. This place is already sealed in an inescapable net. This time, you will surely lose both your head and your life.
Fang Yuan, you damned demon! To refine the Spring-Autumn Cicada, you slaughtered millions. Your monstrous sins reach the heavens. They are unforgivable, too numerous even to record.
Demon, 300 years ago you violated me, stole my chastity, murdered my entire family, and exterminated all 9 generations of my kin. From that moment on, I have longed to eat your flesh and drink your blood. Today, I will make you beg for death.
Fang Yuan wore a tattered dark green robe. His long hair hung loose, and blood drenched him from head to toe as he surveyed his surroundings. The mountain wind whipped his blood-soaked robe, making it crack like a battle flag. Bright red blood poured from hundreds of wounds across his body. In the short time he had stood there, a great pool of blood had already gathered beneath his feet. Enemies surrounded him on every side. There had long since ceased to be any path of escape. The outcome was settled. Today, he would die. Fang Yuan understood the situation with perfect clarity. Yet even as death approached, his expression did not change. He remained utterly composed. His gaze was dark and unfathomable, like the depths of an ancient well. The righteous heroes besieging him were either esteemed leaders of great sects or celebrated young champions whose names resounded across the world. They held Fang Yuan in a tight encirclement. Some roared, some sneered, some narrowed their eyes with wary light, while others clutched their wounds and stared at him in fear. None of them attacked. All feared Fang Yuan's final, desperate counterattack. The tense standoff continued for 3 hours. The sun sank westward, and its dying rays set the clouds along the mountains ablaze, magnificent as fire. Fang Yuan, who had stood as still as a statue, slowly turned. The gathered heroes erupted into commotion and retreated a full step as one. By now, the gray-white mountain rock beneath Fang Yuan had been stained dark red. His face was pale from excessive blood loss, but the glow of sunset cast upon it a sudden, striking radiance. Gazing at the green mountains beneath the setting sun, Fang Yuan gave a soft laugh.
Green mountains under the setting sun. Autumn moon and spring breeze. Truly, at dawn the hair is black as silk. By dusk it has turned to snow. Right and wrong, victory and defeat, all are empty in the turn of a head.
As he spoke, scenes from his previous life on Earth suddenly surfaced before his eyes. He had once been a Chinese scholar on Earth. Through a strange twist of fate, he had crossed into this world. For 300 years he wandered through hardship, then roamed the world unhindered for more than 2 centuries. Over 500 years had drifted by, yet in hindsight they seemed to have passed in the blink of an eye. Many memories buried deep within his heart came alive at that moment, vivid scenes unfolding once more before him.
So, in the end, I still failed.
Fang Yuan sighed inwardly, touched by emotion but without regret. He had foreseen this outcome long ago. When he first chose this path, he had already prepared himself for it. The demonic path sought no virtuous end. It meant murder and arson, rejection by heaven and earth, enmity with the entire world, and even then living freely and ranging wherever one's desires led.
If the Spring-Autumn Cicada I have just refined truly works, then in my next life I shall still walk the demonic path.
At that thought, Fang Yuan could no longer restrain himself and burst into loud laughter.
Old demon, what are you laughing at?
Everyone, be careful. The demon is about to make a final attack.
Hand over the Spring-Autumn Cicada, now!
The heroes pressed forward. At that very moment, a thunderous explosion shook the mountain as Fang Yuan resolutely detonated himself. Spring rain fell in a fine, unbroken veil, silently nourishing Qingmao Mountain. The night was deep, and threads of cool wind stirred the gentle rain. Yet Qingmao Mountain was not dark. From halfway up the mountain down to its foot, countless faint lights gleamed as though the slopes wore a brilliant sash. The lights shone from rows of raised wooden houses. They did not number 10,000, but there were several thousand. This was Gu Yue Village, built upon Qingmao Mountain, lending a rich breath of human life to the vast and tranquil peaks. At the very center of Gu Yue Village stood a grand and imposing pavilion. An ancestral ceremony was underway there, and so the building blazed with even greater brilliance.
Ancestors, watch over us. May this Aperture Awakening ceremony reveal many talented youths, bringing fresh blood and new hope to the clan.
The Gu Yue clan leader appeared middle-aged, with a touch of frost at his temples. Dressed in solemn, unadorned white ceremonial robes, he knelt upon the yellow-brown floor. His back was straight, his hands pressed together, and his eyes tightly closed as he prayed with utmost sincerity. Before him stood a tall, black-lacquered altar arranged in 3 tiers and bearing the ancestral tablets. Red copper incense burners stood to either side, thin smoke curling upward. More than a dozen people knelt behind him. They wore broad white ceremonial robes and were all clan elders, men of authority who controlled the clan's many affairs. After the prayer, the Gu Yue clan leader bent forward first. He spread both hands flat, pressed his palms firmly against the floor, and kowtowed. His forehead touched the yellow-brown boards with a soft thump. The elders behind him wore solemn expressions and silently followed his example. For a time, the ancestral hall held only the quiet sound of foreheads touching the floor. When the ceremony ended, everyone slowly rose and filed silently out of the solemn hall. In the corridor, the elders quietly breathed sighs of relief, and the atmosphere relaxed. Gradually, conversation began to rise.
Time passes far too quickly. In the blink of an eye, another year is gone.
Last year's Aperture Awakening ceremony feels as if it happened only yesterday. I can still see it clearly. Tomorrow is the annual Aperture Awakening ceremony. I wonder what sort of new blood the clan will gain this year.
Ah, I only hope an A-grade youth appears. The Gu Yue clan has gone 3 years without such a genius.
Indeed, Bai Village and Zhong Village have both produced geniuses in recent years. Bai Ningbing, of the Bai clan in particular, possesses truly terrifying talent.
No one knew who had first spoken Bai Ningbing's name, but a shadow of worry appeared on every elder's face. The youth's aptitude was exceptional. In just 2 short years of cultivation, he had already become a rank 3 Gu master. Among the younger generation, he stood alone at the summit. Even the older generation felt the pressure of this rising star. In time, he would inevitably become a pillar of Bai Village, at the very least, a powerful figure capable of holding his own. No one doubted it.
Still, there is hope among the youths attending this year's ceremony. Quite so. A gifted youth has emerged from Fang's branch. He could speak at 3 months and walk at 4. At 5 years old, he could compose and recite poetry. Exceptionally intelligent, brimming with talent, it is only a pity that his parents died young. He is now being raised by his uncle and aunt.
Yes, he showed wisdom early and possesses great ambition. I have heard his recent works, Bring in the Wine, Ode to the Plum Blossom, and Riverside City. A true genius.
The Gu Yue clan leader was the last to leave the ancestral hall. As he slowly closed the door, he overheard the elders' discussion in the corridor. He immediately knew that they were speaking of a youth named Gu Yue Fang Yuan. As clan leader, he naturally paid attention to every outstanding child. And among the younger generation, Gu Yue Fang Yuan shone more brightly than any other. Experience showed that children blessed with extraordinary gifts, such as remembering everything they saw or possessing an adult's strength, often had excellent aptitude for cultivation.
If this child proves to have a great aptitude, then with proper nurturing he may well be able to contend with Bai Ningbing. Even if he has only B-grade aptitude, he will surely become capable of standing on his own and grow into a banner for the Gu Yue clan. But with such precocious intelligence, B-grade seems unlikely. There is a very good chance he is A-grade.
At the thought, the corners of the Gu Yue clan leader's mouth lifted into a faint smile. Then he coughed and addressed the elders.
Gentlemen, the hour is late. For tomorrow's Aperture Awakening ceremony, You must all rest well tonight and preserve your energy.
The elders paused at his words. As they glanced at one another, a trace of vigilance hid within each gaze. The clan leader had spoken indirectly, but everyone understood his meaning. Every year, the elders fought bitterly to recruit the most talented juniors. Their arguments grew red-faced and fierce enough to spill blood. They truly did need to conserve their strength tonight, so they could contend for those talents tomorrow. That was especially true of Gu Yue Fang Yuan, who had an excellent chance of possessing A-grade aptitude. Both his parents were dead, leaving him one of only 2 orphans in Fang's branch. If an elder could bring him into his own faction and nurture him well, that elder's lineage might prosper for 100 years.
However, let me make the unpleasant part clear now. Compete openly and honorably. You are not to employ schemes or damage the unity of the clan. Elders, remember this well.
We would not dare.
We will certainly remember.
Then we shall take our leave. Lord Clan Leader, there is no need to see us out.
Each elder departed with his own thoughts. Before long, the long corridor grew cold and empty. Wind drove the spring rain slantwise through the window. The clan leader walked softly to it. At once, the fresh, damp air of the mountain filled his mouth, clean and refreshing. This was the 3rd floor of the pavilion. From here, the clan leader could see most of Guyue village. Though it was deep night, most homes in the village still held lights, unlike on an ordinary evening. Tomorrow's Aperture Awakening ceremony concerned everyone's personal interests. Excitement and tension hung over the clansmen, and naturally many found it impossible to sleep.
These are the hopes of the clan's future.
Points of light reflected in his eyes as the clan leader gave a long sigh. At that same moment, another pair of clear eyes quietly watched those lights flickering in the night, filled with complex emotion.
Gu Yue Village? Is this 500 years ago? The Spring Autumn Cicada truly worked.
Fang Yuan's dark gaze remained unfathomable as he stood beside the window, letting wind and rain beat against him. The Spring Autumn Cicada's power was to reverse the flow of time. Ranked 7th among the 10 great mystical Gu, it was naturally no ordinary thing. Simply put, it granted rebirth.
I used the Spring Autumn Cicada to be reborn. I have returned to 500 years ago.
Fang Yuan raised a hand and stared fixedly at his young, delicate, somewhat pale palm. Then he slowly clenched it, exerting all his strength as he felt the reality of this moment. Fine rain tapped softly against the window frame beside him. He slowly closed his eyes. Only after a long while did he open them again and breathe a deep sigh.
500 years of experience. It truly feels like a dream.
Yet he knew with perfect certainty that this was no dream.